Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Being Human Now show. I'm your host, Jennifer Locksmith, and today we have Penny Rummel with us. Penny Rummel is the author of Orbs, The Energy of Life, this fabulous book right here. Uh, she has a Bachelor of Science degree in the Human Resources Management from University of Bellevue, Nebraska. She also served 27 years in two branches of the armed forces, the U.S. Air Force and the Coast Guard. She retired in 2014. In 2018, she began to research ufology and other related topics, including the Sasquatch people. Penny was also involved in the Mutual UFO Network, also known as MUFON, as a Washington State Section Director, UFO Field Investigator, and MUFON Experiencer Resource Team member. In 2022, she took a new interest in orbology and has been photographing orbs ever since. One could say Penny has been entrusted by our neighbors in other realms to be a conduit between our worlds. She is giving us the gift of a glimpse behind the veil. Recently in Egypt, she captured the largest orb to ever be photographed. Penny lives in the beautiful Pacific Northwest of Washington State with her husband, 3 dogs, 2 cats, and 12 chickens. You can contact Penny at MUFON, P-A-K, at gmail.com, or Annie's Storm at live.com, or on Facebook as Penny Rummel. Penny, welcome to the Being Human Now show. I'm so happy to have you.
Oh, Jennifer, thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it. This really
Yeah, it's,
means a lot.
yeah, it's awesome. We're gonna have a great talk today. So my first question for you, and I think there was one other show I've heard you talk about, and I agree with you when you say this, that you say the veil is thinning. And I agree, I couldn't agree more. I think it's going to continue to thin, and we're for some very magical, interesting times. But my question is, what makes you say that? Is it your intuition, or have you gotten a message from somewhere else that's telling you this, that the veil is thinning?
That's a good question. But the truth is that I just feel it. I just
Mhm.
I just have a knowing. And as I continue on with my spiritual growth, I really tap into my own soul or my higher self
Yes.
and feel that those are where the answers are coming from. They're coming from within.
Hmm.
So that's what I really base it on is my just my knowing from inside,
Yes.
and it feels like it to me too. It's just a sense of wonder, like oh my goodness, more and more things are happening in this world, and more of us are awakening to it. It's really cool. It's very exciting. So that's really where I base that off from is
Hmm.
when the veil's thinning. Hope that answered your question.
It did, it did. And if you could describe, if you have an idea of what we have to look forward to, of what this world might look like as it begins to thin, just some ideas intuitively of what you think we might be seeing, how our reality might change.
I think it's changing right now because more and more people are waking up. But
Hmm.
how I visualize it and how I would love everyone else to visualize it, although I don't have any control over anyone else, but I can share my love with them. And I think that is the key. It's love. It's sharing your love and trying our best to get rid of fear out of our lives. Because fear and all the programs associated with fear, all the programs,
Hmm.
um, are really hampering our ability to open up to the possibilities of more than just this 3D world. So that's how it would look like to me is that we are more engaged in community, we are more loving toward one another, we're more compassionate, and we use our empathy, our feelings to understand the other person and and relate with them and have heart to them, giving heart to them that we understand and love you because you are human just as I am, just as we all are.
Hmm.
And we can set our differences to the side, but yet um, really be excited about those differences because in that is where the learning is. You can learn
Yeah.
about so much more if you open yourself up to other people's thoughts and feelings. So that's how I'd kind of see the world. I would love Mother Nature to continue to blossom and there be greenery and flowers and rainbows, all of that, the butterflies, the wildlife. If I can go so far, what I really love is for us to have a relationship with the animal kingdom where we using our telepathy. I think we all have it. I think we've forgotten how to use it, but we use telepathy and have the same relationships that we do with one another and have that same compassion and empathy for the animal kingdom. And we live in harmony.
I love that. I feel that. I feel that's coming. I think you're spot on. And I hope so too. That we start using our telepathy more to connect to everything. Because when you're spiritually
Right,
connected, you are connected with everything. And I think we're getting back to that. We're getting away from the programming and getting back to remembering we're spirit first and being connected to everything else that's also spirit. So that's
right.
awesome. Yeah.
Yes, and having fun because
Yeah.
it's important to, as we laugh and have fun, we're also raising our vibration. We're raising our frequency. So, smiling, having fun, it's all part of that. It's
Yeah. And I think,
contagious.
yeah. And I think that's what we're meant to be doing here is having fun.
Right. I
Yeah.
agree with you. I agree.
So we already touched on, you using your intuition. So my next question is, I'm going to get to the orbs now. Um, do you think you're being guided to take these pictures when you're taking them? Like, is there something that's telling you to go outside and take the pictures at a certain time or at a certain location? What inspires you to take your pictures when you do you think?
Yeah, another excellent question. Absolutely. I feel I am being uh, asked to go outside. I know on one particular occasion, it was October 19th. My husband and I had just finished watching um, Flash of Beauty Paranormal. Excellent film. If no one's ever seen it before, please get it. It's paranormal. Flash of Beauty Paranormal. Wonderful film.
Awesome. Yeah.
At any rate, after I after I got that message, it because I just finished watching the movie, I thought, oh yeah, I'm getting up. I'm taking pictures. So I go out to take pictures of orbs, as I do every evening for the most part. And on that particular evening, I photographed a Sasquatch male in his energy body.
It was awesome. I saw that picture. It's obvious. It's like right there, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That was
I mean,
awesome.
it was a blessing. It was
Yeah.
really a blessing. And you can imagine how excited I was to view that particular picture because I don't always see what I'm taking a picture of until I get back inside the house and start reviewing my photographs. Even though I have a 10-inch screen when I take the pictures because I use my iPad,
Hmm.
um, I still don't always get because it's such a flash in your eyes of white energy right in your eyes that it's often hard to tell what you have captured until you review your photos. But
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think they communicate with me too, not in the form of telepathy, although I will share one time that I do feel they did interact with me with telepathy. But I feel like the orbs are a consciousness. And so with consciousness and energy, we're all energy. My brain is energy, my consciousness, everything's energy. And so I think they connect that way. They come in, and oftentimes they come right into the camera as though they're saying, go ahead and take my picture. I would like that. I want to be with you.
Hmm.
And they're right there. And it's not like a hit or miss, it's every night. And now I don't always get the best of pictures because they are super fast, but
Yeah.
I do my best, and for the most part, I get at least one to two pretty good photos each night of
Hmm.
orbs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You can see in some of the pictures we're going to go through, they are moving very fast and you've captured them. Some of them are doing like 180s and oh my gosh, it's so cool. So
looping.
regarding the different types of orbs in your book, you've mentioned you've mentioned that orbs are just a type of like transportation for certain,
Right. They
right?
can be transportation. Absolutely. That's
Yeah.
that's how they travel. So, orbs are a consciousness that travel utilizing that energy, that orb-shaped energy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so it's a mode of of transportation. I say travel, but if you think of Tesla and his if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration.
Yep.
And when you think of that and put the orb into it, it just makes sense. It
Mm-hmm.
all makes sense. At least it does to me.
It makes perfect sense to me too. And you've said, so they're all different beings that can travel in forms of orbs. It can be elementals, Sasquatch, spirits, people that have crossed over.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. I've seen it. I've seen it
Hmm.
with my own eyes. I've seen my mom. I've seen my dad. I've seen my dog Titus.
Yeah,
That's just a depiction of him behind me. I've
yeah,
seen I've s- I've seen enough to realize that um, orbs are a way for them to travel and show themselves to those that are nearby, that are
hmm,
open to it. You really have to be open to it to be able to see and acknowledge them. Now, I don't see them with my own eyes. So far, I'm hoping at one point I will,
yeah.
but I'm able to photograph them, and they know I'm photographing. That's another thing. They know I'm there. They know
Hmm.
when I walk out on the back deck to take photographs of them in the woods, coming out of the ground, coming through the sky. They come
Hmm.
in all different directions,
Yeah,
so they're there.
yeah. Yeah, and so some you've described in your book, you've broken it down into the sizes and the colors, which I mean, colors give off like a frequency, right? So I feel like that kind of is a reflection of what we just talked about. You say the larger orbs are high frequency spirit, a more spiritually evolved, powerful emotion, a ghost orb, or a lost soul, as far as the large orbs go. And then you say that small orbs are low frequency spirit, or an elemental spirit, or a natural phenomenon. And then just some of the colors you mentioned here, I won't go through all of them, but this color blue here, you say is tranquil or peaceful.
Hmm.
This orange is protection and forgiveness. And then down here we've got red, anger or passion. Um, this yellow down here could be a warning. And it's just so cool. The green, healing or spirit. And that just kind of matches right up with what we just talked about, like how you can get a feeling for who's actually here and what they're feeling and the message that they are trying to convey to you with the
Right. It's in
colors.
yeah, the color can be the form of communication, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then I know you've also said that you've caught some rainbows and you feel that that's unconditional love.
Yeah, the rainbow orbs are beautiful, and I think I've sent a couple to you so the
Yes.
audience
So,
will be able to
yeah.
see. But
Yep.
yeah, I feel like that's just unconditional love. You're seeing the whole rainbow. You're seeing
Yeah.
every color.
Yeah.
So,
And you caught that when your dog Titus passed away, you caught a rainbow orb.
yes, the rainbow orb was right there
Yeah.
beside, just across from him, as though because he had just passed,
Oh my
and then I
goodness.
took the photo, and then that orb was right there.
Oh my gosh. He was coming to say, "Hi, Mom, I'm still here."
Yeah, Mom, I did not die. We
Yeah.
still live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Death is an illusion. And you're
Yeah, it
helping to
is.
prove that, so thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be here to share this
Thank you.
message. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
speaking of
Welcome.
sharing, I'm going to share. This is the first, this is the test. I've been practicing. This is my first time sharing a screen, so let's hope I do it correctly. Okay. Okay. Can you see that?
It's
Am I
yes.
doing,
Oh yeah.
did I
Good
do it?
job. Yeah, you did
Yes.
wonderful.
Good.
Wonderful.
Okay, so here is one of the orbs you sent me. I'm going to go through them. We can talk about each one.
This has a rainbow image to it. You can see the different colors in it. There's kind of like a pink, a green, a little
Yes.
bit of yellow. It's kind of a rainbowish. Maybe it's shifting some of its colors.
Yes. And so you call this was moving.
Yeah, this one, it was definitely moving. Correct.
Yeah, and then you said the flash is how long? Like 2 seconds or something?
Well, my camera will go for 1.5 seconds so I can pick up that movement
Mm-hmm.
from the time they come into the screen and the time they exit. I can pick it up. And then what I do, Jennifer, is go back into each photograph and I edit it so that I can find the orb in the photo. So I'll
Okay.
edit it through and then I find the orb and then I save that picture and then this would be the example because it could be this one could be going so fast that he's off to the left and I have to bring him back because they travel so I can go back through and edit. and bring, hopefully this makes sense, and hopefully,
Yeah.
and then I bring them into as close to the center as I can if that's the direction they were in.
Hmm.
So it's all about the editing
Yeah.
function.
Yeah.
iPhones and iPads have that. So anyone that's listening, you all can take orb photographs as well because it's easy to do on your iPhone and it's easy to do on an iPad. Anyone can take pictures of orbs, and all you really need is the flash on, so that your flash is reflecting off on that light, which in return you capture the photograph.
Hmm. And you would say your advice for people would be it would be best to go out at night to do this?
You can, but you can also catch orbs during the daylight. I have a couple examples of that in here as well. But
Okay.
I've seen orbs where people go to a gravesite and they're going to visit their mom that they had buried there, but the orbs show up right during daytime.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. We're going on to the next. All right, this one's really cool.
Yeah, this one was I think this was just a month ago that I took this photograph and I just loved it. The movement and the angle of it and then the projection of it, the real ball shape or the real circular shape at the top. So
Yeah.
it's very, very cool. I
It
mean,
looks like a
and
shooting
very
star.
bright. Yeah, it does. It's very bright. Yeah.
A lot of energy.
A lot of energy.
Really
Yeah.
shining.
Yeah, this one would be the larger orb and higher energy.
Hmm.
If we were to use the chart, yeah.
Yes. Now this one's really special.
Yeah, it is. It's my father. He came to me on the 22nd of March. My birthday's the 20th, and it was the year that he had passed. He came to me in March, on the 22nd of March,
Oh,
as an orb form, and that's him. You can actually see him smiling. You can see kind of like the brightness of where his teeth is, that his hair is parted, a lot like mine. Like our hairs are a lot alike.
you inherited his hair?
Yeah, similar hair. Um, but yeah, and my mom has come back, and I think we'll see
Yeah,
that
I
one
have
as
her in
well. But
here.
yeah,
I see his face. I see his nose too, and I
hmm
see it.
yep,
It's amazing.
yeah. I hope that the audience can see it as well. I hope it's visual to them. But again, not maybe not everyone can see this.
Hmm.
Some
Yeah.
people think, well, that's just a spot or something. But to me, well, there are no coincidences. This happens for a reason, and certainly that close to my birthday, that's my dad communicating with me. I love you. I'm here.
Hmm.
I'm still here. So
Yes. No, I see it, and I definitely believe that he came back to visit you. I mean, they come back in all different kinds of ways, and I really think this is one of them because energy can't be destroyed, so
correct.
it can only
Yeah.
change forms.
Right.
Okay, next one. Now, this is in Egypt, which I also want to talk about this a little later,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, if you could use your cursor just to show the audience the Great Pyramid, it doesn't look great from there, but it totally is. That is
Right
the Great
here.
Pyramid. It's huge. Well, these are the orbs that are surrounded the Great Pyramid that I was able to photograph on a few of the different evenings. We were only at this particular hotel for 3 nights.
Hmm.
So I was getting up at midnight, 3 in the morning sometimes, well rested. The energy in Egypt is high. You don't need much sleep. The
Wow.
energy's that high. So I was getting up at 3 in the morning and taking photographs of the pyramid.
Oh my gosh. Were you the only one out there? That must have been magical.
Well, it was magical, but the people that take care of the yards and stuff like that, they're out at night, and
Okay.
the preparation for the cooks the next day, those guys are out. So it's still, there's still people out, but
Hmm.
it's pretty desolate. Like I've had moments all by myself with the Great Pyramid and the orbs.
Wow. Yes, this is one, and this one definitely looks like it's moving.
Yeah, and if you notice, you can take your cursor. There's like this donut shape that it's coming through. Do you see the circle right there? It's
Right
a
here?
think big, go up, 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 and around. It's almost like it's ghosted out, this circle part.
Like an even bigger circle here?
Right. It's all the way around. It's big.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's almost like a big, there you go, and all the way around. Well, it's
Yeah.
almost like that orb is coming out of it.
I see
A lot of,
that. What
and
if it's like a portal?
that's what I was wondering. And it's a lot of energy, just a tremendous amount. As you can see, that's energy. That's
Yeah.
that's all energy around that pyramid.
That looks like a portal to me.
I think so too. It really looked like a portal to me too.
Yeah, that's so cool. I've never been to Egypt. I want to go.
You should
Okay,
take
that's
me with you.
yeah, I'll come with you. So unfortunately, the way I saved these, they didn't save. I should have separated the Egypt, but there is another Egypt one in here. Now
That's
we're
okay.
back. Is this your backyard?
This is a backyard, and this is a really sacred tree. It's a maple. It's a really old maple tree, and
Hmm.
it has a lot of orbs around it. Um, so this particular one, you can see the tail of the orange one, which is just
Yeah,
beautiful. And then off to the left side, there's a smaller one, kind of gray, a little bit ghosted out,
right here.
smaller.
Yeah,
Yep.
very interesting. Secret tree. You know, I really think that trees are portals or entrances to other worlds. And there's at least one Hollywood director that knows that, Tim Burton, because in at least two of his movies that I can think of, The Nightmare Before Christmas and Sleepy Hollow, he depicts
hmm
trees as being entrances to other worlds, and it really makes me wonder, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you that the Sasquatch people are able to use the trees as a portal. I'm pretty sure they have that ability
Yeah.
to go into trees. I've heard so many accounts that it's not a surprise to me to find out that trees are portals. Not at
Hmm.
all. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
I think they are too. And that explains why some people say they see them go behind trees, but they're massive. Their bodies look massive, and how can they be disappearing behind a tree? You know? Well,
Well,
maybe they're
if they
going,
can, yeah, sorry to cut you
no,
off,
you're
but
fine.
I was thinking in terms of the Sasquatch people being able to shift their energy, and they can
Hmm.
shift their energy into an orb form, which we'll see that in my photographs. But
Hmm.
why, if they can shift into that energy form, they can certainly go through trees. Okay,
Yeah.
even in that form, these orbs can go through the ground, through the trees. They can go anywhere. So absolutely.
Yeah.
They can shapeshift. They can shapeshift into other forms too, animals.
Hmm. Yes. Yes, I agree. Oops. Okay. Let's keep going with this. Now, this is back in Egypt. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Have you been past?
this is just an interesting shot. It's like, is this the edge of a UFO?
Hmm.
What is this? It's really interesting to me. I categorize it under an orb, but geez, if anyone in the audience knows, it would be
Yeah.
great. But yeah, I think it is an orb, but boy, it's just so bluish green to me, and a
Yeah.
little bit of hint of yellow in it.
Yeah. And moving very quickly too. Or
Mhm.
is it or is it like a already the shape of a bar?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Was this the same night by any chance? Do you remember?
It's one of the 3 nights because I was
Okay.
only there for 3 nights, so it's
Right.
one of those 3 nights.
Okay.
They're all date stamped, but I don't
Oh,
have the date up at this time. Sometime in September,
okay. Awesome. There's
2024.
the next one.
This is the photograph that started all of my orb photographs. This particular one. So this has quite the story to it because it's
Yes,
the
please.
beginning of why I decided to go into this phenomenon called orbs. Back in 2020, probably 2021,
Mm-hmm.
I read the book Bigfoot 50, let's say Bigfoot 50 years come full circle. I apologize if I got that wrong. I think I got all the words, but it's written by um, Matthew Johnson.
Okay.
And in his book, he describes how and he's a researcher. He's been researching for many years. But in his book, he is sharing how the Sasquatch people can shift into orb form, and he's seeing it with his
Hmm.
own eyes. He's actually seeing this. So I was fascinated by this and by his book. And him and his wife have a camp where people can go to their place and set up. The only stipulation is you have to be outside. You have to camp very vulnerable, just like this, on a cot with a sleeping bag and a pillow. And that's
Wow.
it. And so that particular night, I was practicing. I stayed outside and camped outside just to make sure that I could handle that, because you're
Hmm.
really putting yourself in what feels like a very vulnerable position.
Hmm.
So I wanted him to know that I was practicing and I was taking this seriously. So I decided I would take a photograph of my cot. And on the first photograph, it really didn't show the woods. I wanted him to see that I really was trying and it was close to the woods.
Hmm.
So I took a second photograph, and this is the photograph that I sent him. And I didn't realize that there was anything in it besides my cot and the wood lines. So the next day I reviewed my emails to him
Hmm.
and I looked at the photograph and I was so shocked and happy, so excited that I got a Sasquatch face inside of an orb.
Yeah.
It was so
Right here.
amazing. It's my very first book photograph in the book. It's
Hmm.
right there. You can see his brow line, his two
Yes.
eyes, his little nose, and the mouth line.
Yeah, right there. I see him. And he's
Yeah.
kind of, we're looking at him from the left.
Yep.
And he's looking
Yep.
kind of down and straight.
That's right. And he
Yep.
is like a juvenile, a small one, right?
Hmm.
Pretty young looking.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether or not he never acknowledged this picture, but I think he saw it. I'm pretty sure he probably saw it.
Yeah.
But for me, it changed everything because then I knew his book resonated with me anyways about the Sasquatch people being able to shift their energy into orb. It just resonated deep within
Hmm.
my soul. I knew it
Yeah.
was true. And
Yeah.
then to capture it in a photograph myself, I was totally hooked on orbs. That was it. I was taking photographs of orbs whenever I could, every night if I could.
Yeah.
And that's what started it all.
That's amazing because you were literally doing it to prepare to go out and interact with Sasquatch. And they're basically like, yep, here we are. We approve. You're doing the right thing. You're going. Because I really think this is like part of your purpose, obviously, that you were meant to do this. They chose you to do this, I really think.
Yeah, I think they did, and they trusted me enough to follow through, and and they trust me enough to show up. Like this is a person we can trust.
Yeah.
And so I was, it's just uh, this particular orb really went out of its way to be in the camera. As
Yeah.
I mentioned to you, I have 1.5 seconds of live time that I can see the orb move. And this orb, this little Sasquatch, made every point to get into this photograph.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
It is beautiful, and I can see his face very clearly. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, let's see. What just happened?
It probably just floated. It's okay. You can just go back one more and
Okay,
there's
where were
there's
we?
mom.
Okay. Hang on.
Yep.
Okay. All right. No, this
Yeah,
one
this
is
is
also very special.
This is, I don't know if you're into numbers, but I'm going to tell you numerology.
I
Okay.
am into numbers. Yes.
My mom passed away on 11 August 2011. Okay.
Okay.
I took the photograph of that very first orb on August 22nd, 2022.
Oh my goodness.
So if you look at the numbers, there's a lot of ones in there,
Yeah.
right? 111111
Mm-hmm.
is in there. And so to me, that was a sign that I'm on the right path. And my mom coming to let me know you're on the right path. She actually came Thanksgiving evening of 2023.
Oh my goodness.
2023 is when she came. This particular photo
Yes, right
on
here I see
Thanksgiving.
her.
So to me, and I put this in my book so you can do the math. But on the very first picture, and then this particular picture in the caption, you'll see the date in which I my mom had passed, and the date in which I started taking photographs of orbs. They equal 1111.
1111.
Yeah, 1111.
Oh my
Correct.
goodness.
So I was like, I got goosies right now.
Yeah.
I knew that that was when you get goosies, that's like the universe telling you this is truth, right? That's how I see. Anytime we get those, it's universe saying that's truth.
Yes,
And
I agree.
anyways, it was just a beautiful way to let me know that Penny, you're on the right path, and
And she's
that's my
proud of
mom
you.
showing up.
She's proud of
Yeah,
you,
and she was
Penny.
proud. She loves me. She's happy. She's at
Yeah.
peace, and she will welcome me when it's my time to transition into my energy body, and anyone else that we all are going to see our loved ones.
Yes. Nothing is ever lost or can be
Nothing's
lost,
ever
ever, ever, ever.
right.
Yeah, I see right here, these are her eyes,
That's
her
correct.
nose,
And,
and
and
her
she has
mouth.
glasses. Yep, she actually has glasses too. You can
Does she?
kind of make them out. So this picture is very similar to her obituary picture,
Really?
which is kind of funny. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you took that's the same one, Mom. There you
Yeah.
go.
She probably did that intentionally, so there was
Uh-huh.
no
Yeah.
confusion.
Yeah. So I held this for the longest time, Jennifer, and didn't share it with anyone except for my husband. I didn't
Yeah.
really share it with anyone. And I took my iPad with me to Florida because that's where my brother's at, and my
Hmm.
other brother's down there too in Florida. And I gave it to my younger brother. I pulled this picture up and I gave him my iPad to look at. And I said, can you tell me what you see? That's all I said. Can you tell me what you see in this? And so he held on to it for a good, probably about 5 minutes. And he's just looking, looking. And then he hands it back to me and says, that's Mom. And that was the confirmation that I needed, my ego needed, right? Because my soul already knew it was Mom, but my ego needed to hear that yes, that was Mom.
And is he interested in these things or no?
No. He
So,
is a little bit interested in the mystic of Egypt. He went with me to Egypt, and he's interested a little bit in the Sasquatch people, but not enough to venture off. It's just like, oh, I'll read an occasional article or book, but not do anything with it.
yeah. So for
But that's
him to see
okay.
it,
Yeah,
to me, that's a
that's
big
okay.
deal for him. And that probably meant so much to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really feel that it did. It really, he's like, wow. It really opened him up, if you will. Like it was like, wow, this is Mom. And she
Hmm.
came back and she was in your woods.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm sure she was happy you shared it with him, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I agree. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next. Oh, this one's so cool. It's like moving and going
Yeah.
complete opposite direction, like in front of you. It's almost like it's dancing in front of your camera.
It does. It really did. And I didn't see any color. What I saw, Jennifer, was a huge flash in my eyes when I took this picture. Like, I'm like, I know I got something, but I don't know what it was because the flash of that white, bright light just was so much in my eyes
Yeah.
that I'm like, well, I'll look at that later as my eyes adjust.
Hmm.
Because I was still outside taking pictures when I took this one and was thinking, boy, that's something. And then to get back inside and review this, I just started crying because I'm like, this is special.
Yeah.
There's something very special about this. You have every color in the rainbow
Yeah. I see that.
is right there. And yeah, I just was shocked. Shocked is the best. Shocked and felt blessed all at the
Yes.
same time. Yeah. Yep.
Unconditional love dancing in front of you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And this was in
Very,
your backyard, right?
it's right there in my backyard, right, almost right where the orb was that I took, the very first orb, right? Very
Mm-hmm.
close. Yes.
Awesome. Ooh, okay, here's another one. Now it
Yeah.
looks like you've captured one, two, three, four, five, six. I mean, those look like energy's moving, and then we've got two that look somewhat stationary.
Yeah. So the two that I circled in red there actually have faces. And
Oh,
one of them, I think it's the top one, you could probably zoom or try to zoom. And that top one seems to have a
oh,
Sasquatch face. They both do. They both seem to have a Sasquatch face
oh,
in them. There you
okay.
go.
Oh, good. Oh, that's easy.
You had it. You had it.
Okay. Do I have to do it
If you
again?
can, I would go one more, but because yes, you can see the face. I can see it, but that's because I know exactly where it's at. Just
Okay.
so you can see it. Can you kind of make that out?
How do I do that? Sorry, I'm gonna try. Okay, here we go.
There you go. Do you see him? Look, it's just his face, and it's kind of a side view. His right side is more, well, both of his eyes, there's his nose, there's the Fu Manchu, there's the
Here?
bridge, the
Yeah,
eye. Yeah,
I
it's
see that. The
just the
nose is
face.
here,
Little bit
right?
over, little bit over,
Here.
right there. You're
Okay.
on the tip of his nose with that. Right there's the Fu Manchu.
Oh, oh my gosh, yes, I see
Yeah.
it. I see him.
And now you can see the eyes too. And there might be other things in there as well because I noticed something off to the side of his head. There's like another shape there. But yeah, that's a Sasquatch face.
Oh my goodness. Yes, the beard's here, right? You must assume
Hmm.
the beard.
That's right. That's
The
right.
nose,
Yep. That's right.
eyes,
Yep.
forehead.
And the crowned head, the conical shaped head. Yep.
I see it. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And below, I think
Yeah.
there's a face in that one as well.
Okay, let's see.
And he's a kind of a smiley face. It's cute. It's a cute little smirk or smile right there is a
Right here.
smile
Here's the
with
smile,
cheeks. Hmm.
the
Yep.
cheeks, the
Yep.
nose, and the eyes.
Yep.
And so that's another Sasquatch.
I I'm gonna guess it is, but I can't. I mean, he definitely looks like a Sasquatch to me, but this could be a female.
Mm-hmm.
This could be a young one. I
Yeah.
just don't know. I don't know. He
Yeah.
I picked up on him right away. I just connected with him.
Yeah. Or do you
But
think they could be elementals or?
sure,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I see them very clearly now. I can't
Hmm.
unsee it.
Yep. That's why I circled them because I wanted the audience and yourself to see the faces.
Yes.
But yeah, yep.
That's so cool. Penny, thank you so much for sharing these with us. This is awesome.
It's fun, isn't it?
It
It's
is
just
so
so,
fun. I
and
mean, it's a glimpse behind the veil. Like everybody
yeah, yeah,
wants to know like what do they look like and well, here you go.
yeah. It's behind the veil, but honestly, the veil's right here with us. It's
Right.
like
Yeah.
right here. We just have to open our hearts and our minds to
Yes.
the possibility, and that's when things start to happen for us.
Yes.
Beautiful things. Yeah.
I would say so. And then these were here too, and they were just moving. They look like they're moving towards
Yeah,
the tree or out of the tree.
it does. It very much does look like the orbs are in the tree or on the tree or going through it. And
Yes.
I
Yeah.
I
And is
can't
this
really say for
that
sure.
is this that sacred maple? That looks okay.
Yes. Yep.
That's very, very interesting. It's the same tree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think let's see. Let's move on. Oh, I think this is it. I
Okay.
didn't save all of them because I figured,
Oh,
yeah.
that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. So, stop share. Here we go. Hello. We're back. So, so I want to hear more about, so I wanted to talk about Egypt. I remember last night we talked on the phone. I wanted to hear more about Egypt because you did capture the largest orb to ever be captured on camera. Is that right?
I don't know that I don't know that anyone has captured orbs at the Great Pyramid. I have never seen orbs at the Great Pyramid in
Uh-huh.
any photographs.
No,
I
I've never
haven't.
heard of it either. Heard of
Yeah.
like orbs. Yeah.
Yeah, I showed my photos to the um, travel agents that put this all together for us.
Mm-hmm.
And they were quite fascinated. And they
Yeah.
wanted to know if they could use some of my photographs um, in their uh, in their advertisement. And
Yeah.
I said, sure, absolutely. But of course, my sign name to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't mind one bit.
Oh my
Not at
gosh, how
all.
cool is that?
Yeah,
Your
that's
orbs are going to
very
be in
cool.
advertisements.
So, Jennifer, I don't know if anyone has, if anyone in the
Yeah.
audience has, seen photos of, please send it to Jennifer of the Great Pyramid or the pyramids and then
Mm-hmm.
orbs are around it. I would love to see that. I would
Yeah.
absolutely love to see that. So,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah. So
But
can you just give us a little insight or like how was Egypt? Like what was it like? You just tell us what the trip was like. Was it
Well,
magic?
it was magic. It was magic. From the first moment I got there, my cousin and I, because my cousin and my two brothers went with me, went and we arrived first, a day ahead of time. We went to get some food and just relax and unwind. Well, the minute that we walked in, the waiter came up to us and he came right to me and he says, "Welcome home." And welcome back. And I said, well, this is actually my first time here. And he said, oh no, you've been here before. You're royalty. And he says, you're from Alexandria. So that set the
Wow.
stage for just a beautiful, magical time and high energy. I mean, I think all of us were high on energy.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't need to sleep much, but
Wow.
that particular man was always there to serve me in the morning or in the afternoon. He just enjoyed, he brought me flowers. He
Uh-huh.
always had my coffee ready in the morning
Yeah.
or in the evening after we got back.
Yeah.
So it was just a magical time.
Were
My
you
favorite
buzzing?
part, oh yeah, oh yeah, you're
Yeah, the
buzzing
whole
because
time.
you're so high, right? You're
Yeah.
high on the energy. You just like riding it like a wave,
Yeah.
right? And so the energy there is amazing. But my favorite uh, day, even though I did get heat stroke,
Oh my,
was at Guy's. It was 105.
oh my
So
goodness.
as you can imagine, and that's like 11 o'clock in the mornings. It's that
Oh my
hot
God.
there. So we get to go through two different pyramids. Then we went through the Great Pyramid. We rode the camels. That was magical too. That was really cool because if you think about those camels, there's an ancient past to them too. So the camel you're riding on is the ancestors of many camels that have made those tracks before.
Yeah.
So it was very magical to be with the camels.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there wasn't any part of it. The Sphinx, oh, beautiful. The Sphinx is
Yeah.
just amazing. That was at the tail end of the day where I was really needing to get back to continue to take in water because I was starting to develop a really bad headache.
Oh
So,
no.
but we did get to see the Sphinx. We stopped. Took photographs and just admired that energy. The
Were you able to
everywhere
get
you
close
go.
to it?
Not as close as I would have liked. There
Okay.
is a barricade around the Sphinx at this
Okay.
time. There
Okay.
are different tours you can take that will allow you to get closer,
Mm-hmm.
but we just didn't do that particular
Yeah.
one, which was fine. I just being able to see it and be near it was just phenomenal. We also went to the Valley of the Kings and Queens, which is where you go into the tombs. You go down into underground,
Oh my
and
goodness.
you're able to see all of the hieroglyphics. I always do that.
Hieroglyphics?
Thank you. But they're everywhere on the walls.
Oh
It's
my God.
like there is a story to be told, and how to unfold that story, I don't know. But it was breathtaking, and everywhere you went, they were there when you were going down into the tombs that they discovered.
Yeah.
And it's the as you go down, it's like the paintings are a little bit rough, but as you get closer and closer to down deep inside of this tomb,
Hmm.
the paintings are more vibrant. The colors, none of the
Yeah.
deteriorate haven't deteriorated. They've
Oh my
stayed
gosh.
so beautiful.
How
But
awesome.
that was just it's really hard to describe
Yeah.
everything you've seen. And but I if anyone wants to go to Egypt, I highly recommend it because
Yeah.
I think many of us have had past lives, including myself, have had past lives in Egypt, and that's why there's so many people that want to go there. Like I would
Mhm.
love to go to Egypt. It's on my bucket list. It was on mine too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that want to go there, and I can see why. The
Yeah.
energy, if we've had past lives there, of course we'd like to go back,
Yeah. Because
especially if they were pleasant past lives, right?
yeah. Were you able to take pictures at any time?
Everywhere. Yep, everywhere. The only place they didn't want me to take pictures was inside of the Great Pyramid, which, get this, by the time we made it there, because the temperatures are so hot, there
Uh-huh.
were only 8 people, about 8 people inside of the Great Pyramid. It was all
No.
my brothers and I. My other two, my cousin and my other brother didn't go because they were hurting.
Oh.
But my older brother and I went, and it was like we were up in seconds. I mean, it's steep to get up to the king's chamber
Mm-hmm.
and see the sarcophagus in there.
Yeah.
But you can, at least I got the feeling that this was used for something very
Mm-hmm.
special, as like a sound or energy healing or communications of some type was happening in that chamber.
Yeah.
It was fascinating. I'm so glad that my brother went with me
Oh,
and that we
that's
were able to do that. But I mean, well, it seemed like everywhere we went, honestly, Jennifer, it was like there wasn't any crowds. We got there early enough or something, and
no, you were
not.
blessed.
Yeah, I think so too.
No.
I think it was totally meant to be that we were to be there to experience this pretty much on our own. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So I guess did you catch any orbs while you were in the Great, and you weren't allowed to take pictures in the Great Pyramid, but when you were probably so in awe of everything that you
I
uh,
didn't capture orbs inside of the tombs. That's
okay.
where I didn't. There's a
Hmm.
lot of light down there. So a lot
Mm,
of light and a lot of glass to protect too. So
got
you would
you.
get that. So I didn't get a lot there. I took some around the hotels or the land that was, where I would walk around, and because we did stay on the Nile too
Oh
on two
wow.
occasions.
Oh
When we were
cool.
in Luxor, we stayed on the Nile, and then we went back to Cairo. We stayed on the Nile. That was our last couple of nights. Were on Cairo or on the Nile. So,
Yeah.
oh, it was
You were
amazing.
meant
But
to
I didn't get
go.
there. Oh yeah, I was definitely meant to go. It was so.
Oh my goodness. So do you think that you'll have be working on are you working on another book right now or?
Yeah, the Sasquatch people. Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. That's so cool. Are you going to include some of your orbs in there, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I am going to include some of the orbs in there. I looked last night because after we talked,
Hmm.
I have over 3,000 orb photos that are set aside in a folder called favorites. I looked at it last night. I'm like, wow, 3,000. Could do
Shit.
another orb book.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe two.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. That's awesome. Well, I hope you do. I look forward to it because this book's awesome.
Oh, thank you
It's
so
like
much.
I almost want to
Thank
show
you.
it to my little nephew,
You
just to
can.
show him like, yeah, all this stuff's real, Eugene, like,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, he may already know because a
Oh, I'm
lot
sure.
of the kids coming in just seem
Hmm.
to just know things that, or they seem a little bit beyond what I was as a kid,
Yeah.
more aware. I guess that's really the word, more aware
Hmm.
and awake. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. And
I
you've got,
love
my goodness, your book, you've got some awesome pictures of, you've got a fairy. I think you've
there's
got a few
fairy in
pictures
there.
of fairies,
Yep.
Sasquatch people. Oh my gosh. It's just so awesome. It's magic. Your book's magic.
No.
Um, but it is true that like they are alongside us, like you said, they're present and they're here. It's not necessarily through the veil, they're like ever present. And I listened to this podcast. I think you would appreciate this. That you said when you go out, you always say like a mantra or a prayer to make sure that whatever's coming around you is positive, right?
Right. Yeah, I think if anyone in your audience is excited about taking orb photos, that it is important, no matter what, when you even go into the woods, that you surround yourself with white light or the Christ light, I like to call it. But do something or a ceremony that protects you, that allows you to feel that protection around you. And sometimes I just close my eyes and imagine the white light around me for
Hmm.
protection, and that will work. I will
Yeah.
certainly sage works wonders too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's an important thing to have around for your home, you know,
Yeah.
or yourself. Yeah.
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 Have you ever heard of the Modern Fairy Sightings podcast, Penny?
No, I have
I
not.
think you would really like it. I really
Okay.
enjoy it. I think you would really love it too. Um,
Send
it's
me the link.
I will. Joe Hickey
Okay.
Hall. It's her podcast, and she has people come on just talking about the reality of fairies and people that have seen fairies. And recently around Christmas, she had this uh, a priest, Brother Richard, on. And I think you'll appreciate this. He has a prayer for going to into the wild places because he knows the reality of the elementals because he has to intervene a lot in the fact that,
Mm,
people don't realize they're real and they will
right.
hurt literally like hurt their feelings or be disrespectful and then create like a bad relationship going on. So I believe the episode was called Peace Between the Kingdoms. And it was just such a cool episode around this past Christmas that she had him on talking about the reality of the things you're capturing. It's like you're a conduit, he's a conduit, like to bring us this. And one of the prayers he said for going into the wild places was, bless every being present, seen and unseen, even the beings I pass by, around, or through without knowing. And I've been trying to
Ah,
remember that now when I go out, because,
yeah.
yeah, it's awesome.
I do something that I've been taught to do with the Sasquatch people and the elementals and the fairies is that I I announce who I am coming into the woods, into the forest. As I step
Hmm.
onto the path, I
Hmm.
say hi in my mind.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Penny, and I'm really excited to be here. I mean no harm. I
Hmm.
just want to explore nature and see you if possible, but it's really about being here in your special space. Thank you for allowing me to be here, you know?
Yeah.
So I love that he does that. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Because I think, we're meant to have proper etiquette with them. And I think there was a time that we did that we remembered and we knew they were
Yeah.
real. And I think we're kind of getting back to that now. I think we're starting to move back towards that world. But that's just me.
No, I agree with you. I think there's more people that um, will talk with the animals, will
Hmm.
talk with nature, because
Yeah.
see, everything's alive, right? We talked about energy. That's the plant kingdom too. They're
Yeah.
alive, and
Yeah.
so they respond to us as well. Even the rocks, as you had Michael Harrell on the show the other day, he
Yeah.
spent a few hours talking with rocks,
You
you
did.
know.
Yeah. And
Yes,
I think it told him about creation, didn't it? Or
yeah. It's
I think that was his
he
story. I can't remember.
I don't remember all that,
Yeah.
but I know he spent time with them and
Hmm.
respected them and learned from them.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you're that open, yeah, anything is possible to have conversations with. I'm still working on having conversations with a particular tree
Hmm.
that I spend time with each morning when I go into the woods. I always spend time with this tree. I call him Grandpa.
Oh.
And so I'm I'm looking forward to that day that, I feel his vibration and I know it's there. It's just
Yeah.
I'm not able to, he's given me that
Yeah.
and he's feeling what I give out, but
Yeah.
I'm not able to quite connect yet. But
What, if you don't mind me asking, what made you choose him? Was it?
I think that, when you see a tree, you just resonate with it,
Hmm.
right? And
Yeah.
this particular tree is right by a bench that I put up. So I definitely wanted to establish a relationship with him. So I put the bench there to spend more time with me, to put my back against him because I left the back of the bench open. So
Hmm.
my back would lean right up against him.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
so
wow.
that was another reason to form that relationship, but that really came after the fact. It's just he resonated with me, just like the maple tree that I've had the photographs of orbs. That
Yeah.
particular tree definitely resonates with me as well.
Yeah.
And I think people in your audience that are watching, and you probably have had a certain tree that you just gravitate to, you just feel
Yeah.
connected to. Yeah.
I love
And
trees.
yeah, I think talking to them is really important. And
Hmm.
even if it's just in your mind, a mind to mind thing, that energy is then going, because thoughts are energy, you know. So your
Yes.
energy is going right to them. And then sometimes you feel the connection. There was a I was at a Bigfoot conference in Yakima,
Hmm.
and there was a lady that was psychic, and she was presenting, and she talked about the fact that you can interact with the trees. You'll feel their vibrations.
Hmm.
Just introduce yourself to them, and
Hmm.
then walk up to them, and you can touch them and actually feel their energy. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
she showed everybody how to do that. I
Hmm.
thought it was beautiful. And so I thought to myself, well, I'm already doing that with Grandpa. I just need to continue to do it until I can connect that. It's not him, it's definitely me being able to connect with him on that higher vibration that he's on.
Yes. And I've heard they
Yeah.
can heal if you're not feeling well, you sit up against a tree for a while and you'll feel better. They can heal you.
Yeah. And they talk to you too.
Mhm.
Again, it's that telepathy from mind to mind, or
Yeah.
from the energy. They'll converse with you just like our animals will. Our
Hmm.
animals will converse with you as well.
Yeah.
I know my pups. I don't actually hear the words or get the pictures, but I get the feeling. I understand
Yeah.
that he's not feeling well. I can
Hmm.
see it. You can see it in their eyes, but you can also sense it that something's not right, or they're happy or whatever. All of us have that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you were born before, maybe the 70s or 80s, but when I was a little girl, I remember how animals were treated much different than they are today, which is really exciting because we are evolving. I now have a dog that sleeps in the bed with me, but dogs used to be chained up outside in a doghouse if they were lucky,
Yeah.
you know. So I think our human race has evolved a little bit in terms of dogs and
Hmm.
cats and being more loving and compassionate to them, and understanding that that's a soul too. That's a
Yeah.
consciousness. That
Yes.
that that soul chose to be with you in that form. And
Hmm.
that's like
Yes.
that's beautiful.
Yeah. I think we choose each
Beautiful.
other. I do.
Right, we choose each other.
Yeah. Before
Exactly.
we come here. Um,
Yes. Oh, yeah. There's definitely a soul plan. You got
yeah.
that.
Kind of a neat story I heard. Because we just talked about plants and now we're talking about animals and dogs. I was listening to something and there was a woman on there that is like a pet psychic. She communicates with animals. And she was talking to this dog one day and he was showing her with his mind and showing her his best friend at the dog park, and I forget, it was like a border collie or something, that he would play with.
Right.
And then he started telling her about his best friend at home. And she was shocked to find that he started showing her a spider plant. His best friend at home was a spider plant. She had a name and everything. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is so
Wow.
cool.
It
Yeah.
really is, because if you think of that that story just depicts the energy and connection between plant animal
Hmm.
kingdom
Yeah.
and us.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful.
I know, I thought it was beautiful, but I laughed out loud. I was like, oh my gosh, a spider plant.
Yeah, like that's a little unexpected, but
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, it makes sense. I mean,
It
with the
does.
reality of how things really work. So
That's
we're down to
awesome.
like, what?
I said, that's awesome. That's
I
just
know,
a
isn't
beautiful
it? I thought
story.
that was a fun story. I thought you'd like that. So we're down to 5 minutes, getting to the hour. Is there one last message you'd like to leave with people before we close off?
Yes, absolutely. I'm a huge fan of watching NDEs. I watch different podcasts with near-death experience. And what that's taught me, and what my message will be to everyone, is that we do not we do not die. We are eternal beings, and we have consciousness, and that lives forever. And so, just like the NDEs, they get to experience different things, but we can too. We can as well. You can have an OBE, an out of body experience,
Hmm.
and I just want everyone to remember not to fear death, to try to get away from the fear programs, and just remember that it's all about love. Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah,
Love over fear. I love that. Thank you
exactly.
so much, Penny. And before you go,
Thank
I
you.
said it in the beginning, and I'm gonna put it in the show notes how to find you, but just anywhere, do you want to just tell people where they can find you before we go?
Sure. I'm on Facebook under Penny Rummel,
Hmm.
Rummel. And you can also email me at Anniestorm, ANNIESTORM, Anniestorm at live.com. Or I still have my MUFON account, my own, it's in my own email. It's MUFON, MUFON, at live.com, or excuse me, at gmail.com.
Okay, great. Great. Thank you so much. And I know a lot of people are going to appreciate that you came on today and shared your stories and your work. Thank you so much, Penny. We appreciate you. Thank you. And thank you for being here.
Thank you, Jennifer. This is an amazing show and it's so important. Thank you for doing this.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you so much. All right, take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.